Good morning, everyone. It is March the 21st, 2016, and spring has officially sprung. And the weather is supposed to warm up for us today, going from the mid-40s with lots and lots of wind to 70 to 80 for the next couple of days. So we'll take it. No moisture in the forecast. We really do need moisture for our wheat crop. El Nino took the moisture north and south of us. We're kind of high and dry here in Kansas and would welcome rain in any form. Sleet, snow, hail, water, big storms. We'll take it. Hope you had a great weekend. And you should have if basketball is your cup of tea. We had some pretty good games over the weekend. Okay, looking at the markets, it is Monday morning. There was no news really to drive or spur the trading overseas. Today we have existing home sales. Doesn't usually move the markets, so we're dealing when we look at the structure of the markets with a pretty strong buying in treasuries and in equities. Now, treasuries you'll see right here, this 129.24 area. So 20 to 24 is pretty stout resistance, and probably reasonable support in the 128.8 to 16 area. So if we fail to take out 129.24, that opens up a retest of 128.08 structurally. Looking at the F2 screen, you can see that we definitely have a P if we put all of these together. And we might have a move out of the middle. So the 16 to 20 is pretty stout resistance, and you can see that we have a high over here of 12. We've got a high there of 18.5. We have a high right here of 17. So there are sellers above 16, and they may be above 12 as it stands right now. When I was doing the homework this morning, it looked like the seller was at 16. That could have come in a little bit. So looking at this, 12 to 16 is sell 1, 19 to 23 will be sell 2. Don't think the market can get up and run about today without some big help from the E-mini, and I don't think the E-mini is really poised to explode to the upside nor to the downside. So kind of see a little higher, a little lower, but the market not really breaking out one way or the other. Pretty good support down here at 29 even. We are headed a little bit lower. We've got volume right here at 4.5. So our buy is 1 to 5. And then our second buy is 25 to 29. Today's news, Chicago Fed, National Activity Index at plus 0.28. Anything above 0 shows economic activity is increasing to the plus side, and existing home sales, which usually doesn't have a hell of a lot of impact on the trading at 5.47, but it is today's news item. I put an article up when I opened the room talking about the strength and the rebound in the housing sector, and it's being fueled by several things. The government has gone back to 3% down payment programs. We're right back where we were in 2006, 7, and 8. People are going back to work. We're not getting the high quality jobs that we would like to get, but so the housing sector behind the automobile sector are two sectors that are contributing to the growth of our economy. And it all starts with existing home sales. Most home sales or purchases are predicated on the ability to sell the home that you're in now as you move up and out. So existing home sales, if they get a number that's bigger than expected, it would confirm the strength of the housing sector, is my point. Not usually a piece of news, though, that moves the markets. Looking at the 30-year, 8 to 12 is where we were, so started down. 7 to 11 is pretty aggressive. Would like to do 11s to 15s, but we are trading at the buck right now, so 7 to 11. And again, the structure favors higher prices when you put it all together. We've got this high volume area down here in this 24, 28 area, which I think is where the market is being pulled to. 19 to 23 for sell 2. On the buy side, we got this high volume area, so we'll try to get at the low end of it, 21 to 25 buy 1. And then we have this London low down here at 8, so 9 to 13 would be buy 2. And if the E-mini rallies, Treasury should sell today. That's going to be driving us. Looking at gold. Structurally, we are selling a bit. Behind that's very, very strong buying. And we've got this low down here at 25. That has held up pretty well. Currently at 47. Lower high, lower low. This thing tells us look for a place to sell it. So will responsive buying come in and support the market? And we've got this breakout down here at 38. So 40.42 buy 1 and 36.34 buy 2. 49 to 51 sell 1 is 12.50, lean against that, and 54.56 sell 2. Still think people will buy and accumulate gold on weakness for the reasons we all talk about. Madness in the Middle East, it's hard to see. You have the Sunni Shia states lining up against each other. Russia has pulled out of Syria, which would Iran, Hezbollah, which would be the majority of Lebanon, Syria, and Russia. We're taking the Shia side, and so you got Iran, Iraq, parts of Syria, parts of Lebanon, lined up against the Sunnis, which are run out of Saudi Arabia for the most part, with strong support from the Gulf states. So it's a religious war between these two sects that's been going on since probably wrong on the date, but I think around 1100. And that won't be resolved anytime soon, but the fighting is intensifying. And again, that's another reason to buy gold. Governments printing money is another reason to buy gold. What's going on in Europe right now, being overrun by war-fighting age males, not only from Syria, but from about 80% of the refugees are males, and if you don't give a male full of that kind of testosterone and access to money to amuse themselves, something productive to do, it always leads to trouble. Take a look at prison populations in any part of the world. It ain't the females that are overrunning and causing the growth in the prison population. Okay, looking at the euro is pretty quiet overnight. Structurally, a seller in this 113.50, 114 area. The buyer certainly down in the 111.50 area, and that would give us the euro usually moves in 2 to 3 point or handle ranges. So 11.50 minus support, 13.50 plus resistance, and right now it looks like it's trying to sell. So if we put all of this together, you can see that the breakout may be somewhere in the 1200, 112 even, 112.25 area, probably really strong support. That's going to be hard to get to. We got a high volume number at 1250. We're at 113 even. So we're going to be kind of where we were on Friday, selling 15s to 25s. And then basically 50. On the buy side, 1275 buy 1, 1250 buy 2. It is Monday. No news in Europe. No news really to speak of out of Asia. Not much news on tap for the United States. So pretty damn quiet. I do hope the bottom is in crude. Lost a lot of jobs. Now, if we're going to get convergence and fill this gap, it doesn't usually start on expiration when we have that that huge premium for the back months. $2, I think, this last time. So right now we have a chance to come back in and fill. And again, structurally, buying against 39 is a good trade. That'll bounce the market, unless we have an obvious piece of news. So right here, 40, 50, 40 and a quarter is our first buy. Then stops below 40, 39.75, 40 will be buy 2. On the sell side, 41 and a quarter, 41.50, sell 1. And 41.75, 42, sell 2. And last but not least, the E-mini. Again, it's a Monday morning. I don't offer a real strong opinion. I don't have a real strong feeling. But you can tell just looking at the structure that the market is pointed higher. Got a low volume number at 32. So this 30 to 32 area, you can see the single prints over here. You can see we have some rejection right here. We've got this low at 28. So there's a lot of stuff that comes together from 2015 up to 2030 where the market should find support. On the upside, 52 and a half. That high right here at 43, 42, say 42 to 52 is prime resistance, and we're close enough to 50 that getting stops above 50 I think is it shouldn't surprise anybody. Okay, we have a B shape in the overnight session, but from Q period on it's been up. And if we come back and we put all of this together, you can see that we have still have a fairly strong P. And volume wise, buying below 37 is a fair trade. So we rejected prices above 42, getting stops above the overnight session. High, I think, is a play. So 43, 46, sell 1. 49.54, sell 2. On the buy side, would like to get it done against 30, but I don't think we're going to get it there. So 30 to 35, this 35, 33 area right here would be prime buy territory. And then basically 25 plus or minus would be buy 2. Chicago Fed business activity plus 0.28, that would show expanding favorable business conditions, and then existing home sales, the big number today at 5.47, and it usually doesn't play very much, but because it's the only piece of news that we have today, that would be supportive for indexes. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get stuff up and posted and get it down, so I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible. In a bit.